Hi, James. Thank you for submitting your work and describing your experience in this written rationale. This is really good. I've learned quite a bit just reading this. So please keep this up as we move through the class. It's really a great idea for students to include a detailed description of their experience with any given assignment because it allows instructors to gain valuable insight into the learning process. And this is certainly no exception here. So I always recommend students include a detailed written description or observation based on their experience with any assignment, not only for this class, but for all classes. It really, really helps your instructors determine how you are learning. I've got the ad up. I think there's some things in your writing that I think that are really, really interesting and done very well. This is a good idea. Drop shadow is great. The most impressive thing about the drop shadow is you've taken the angle of the cast sunlight. So it is true. It actually reinforces the light source, which is really fantastic. So that's good work right there. I also agree. I think it's intriguing that the drink is there, but the people out are not there, giving the illusion or the idea that the individuals associated with this lounge chair are probably off frolicking in the sand or the surf, or they're doing something, but this is where they're at with their drink. So I think this is a really, I don't think you need people in this ad. I really don't. So I agree with your comment there. I think the glass kind of adds the idea that there are people associated with this particular scene without actually adding people. So I think that was a good choice. I've got the magazine ad up as a JPEG, so we'll be able to take a closer look at it right over here. Let me get this in. Okay, excellent. We're just trying to fit that in the window. Let's go ahead. All right, it's a good ad. It's a very good ad. My only concern with this ad is you're really dense up here. There's so much written information up here. It's actually not balanced. And because all the type is above the horizon, it feels top heavy. And it does, it really does. If you take a look, you'll see. There's some things we can do to rectify that. And I think one of the things we're going to do is change the color of the type itself. And that's going to really reduce a lot of visual weight here. Pure black or pure white type typically advances in a composition and adds a lot of visual weight. So I think black here is adding too much visual weight. I'm gonna, if you could stick with black, but don't use pure black. Use like a dark gray. And if you use white type, don't use pure white. Use white. Use a little bit of off white with a little bit of gray in it. Okay, now as far as the typography goes, well, let's start with the placement of the logo. I think the logo you don't want to open the ad saying, okay, this is the company. You want the viewer to kind of ease into the ad and using the image. And that's why the background image is so important. That's what's going to draw the viewer in. It's not the logo. The logo is not going to draw the viewer into the composition. The image is. So the logo does not have to be reinforced in a prominent position with scale depicting a high degree of hierarchy. You don't have to do that. We're going to work to that, but we're going to place the logo in the lower right-hand corner. I'll describe the reasoning why in 1 second. Actually, I'll do it right now. Typically, we start any composition in the upper left. We work left to right, top to bottom in the page, making the lower right an exit point for any given one-page composition. We can use this strategy to our benefit by placing the logo, watch my cursor, about that size, right down in that corner, because if the viewer's leaving the page anyway right here, let's reinforce our client's branding by placing the logo at that exit point. Okay, that's going to open up a lot of area at the top of the page, and we're going to use that area expeditiously. Let me explain how. So logo down here, take that contact information and move it to the right-hand side of the composition. You might entail purple from the style guide color in the address area to make it a little more visible. Well, try it in white. If it works, it works. If not, if it's too difficult to read through the bright sunlit sand, go ahead and change it to that color purple. Okay, that's going to open up the top of this. Now, what you want to do here is these text lines are too long. This whole configuration here, where you kind of have the text wrapped around this shape of the umbrellas, it creates a really uncomfortable negative space right here. Creates this really strange diagonal that creates a leading line that doesn't go anywhere of importance. As a matter of fact, it points off the page in both directions. So we want to stay away from luring the eye off the page by eliminating this leading line created by this diagonal from the type. So watch my cursor. I'm going to show you how I would recommend reconfiguring this. Okay, so first of all, as we said, move the logo down here. Now, the headline, watch my cursor, headline, left aligned, something about right there. Okay, now the subhead, book 3 nights and get 1 full day of free meals at the Amethyst Bay Gourmet Restaurant. That's too much. That's a mouthful. I mean, satisfy that hunger for adventure and then just say book now and receive free meals or something like that. You don't want to give everything up. You want to kind of give a little bit of a teaser to induce the viewer to come down and read the body copy and to look deeper into this promotion. So try to condense the subhead type considerably. At that point, so you've got headline, okay, something like that, about the same size, maybe even a little bit bigger than it is. Then the subhead, left align just like you have, but reduce the type size. Try that color purple as well, okay? Then we're gonna take the body copy. Now, following that left margin you've established, watch my cursor, we're gonna create a text box right here, okay? And then the text is gonna go in there. You may have to use purple for the text as well because of the background image being, the sky's got some clouds in it. So that could impede readability of text, but I think it'll be okay with that purple text, okay? So those are my recommendations, and I'm gonna tell you something, this ad's gonna look gorgeous when you're done. I promise you, you're gonna love it. It's going to be way more effective, and the reason being is because we're kind of redistributing all of the visual weight that's cluttered at the top of the composition. We're redistributing the weight. It's going to create a more harmonious and more visually comfortable composition. Try it. If you have any questions, please let me know, but I would like to see you attempt these adjustments. You can resubmit right here if you would like. I'd like to see these adjustments made for your final campaign, which is due coming up here in week 7, coming up rather quickly, but we're going to be starting work on the banner ad, so we want to kind of finalize the magazine ad before getting started with the banner ad, or at least get it to a pretty good, near point of completion. So if you want to go ahead and make those adjustments and resubmit here, repost it here, post it to the general questions area in the course, in the discussions, or email me, whatever you want, whatever's more convenient for you. I would like to see this and make final comments before you call it complete, right? So again, any way that is most convenient for you to get this back to me for further comments, please. I'm here ready to provide additional comments. If you're working, I'm working, right? So let's go ahead and make those adjustments, get this back to me one way or another. We'll finalize comments and start working on the banner ad. All right, great job. Thank you very much.